You know, there's something we tend to overlook until it starts giving us trouble. Our feet. Think about it. They carry us through life, mile after mile, year after year. But how often do we really stop and take care of them? If you're over 60, you might have noticed your feet don't feel quite the same as they used to. Maybe they ache more than they used to, or they swell up by the end of the day. Maybe you've even been told you need to pay extra attention because of diabetes or circulation issues. Well, here's the good news. Taking care of your feet doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, with just a few simple steps, you can keep them healthy, avoid pain, and even prevent serious complications down the road. That's what we're going to talk about today. 3 key steps to better foot care after 60. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. I've made it this far without worrying too much about my feet. Why start now? But here's the thing. Our bodies change as we get older. The skin gets thinner. Circulation isn't always what it used to be, and small problems can turn into big ones if we ignore them. The last thing any of us want is to end up with an infection, or worse, something that keeps us from staying active and independent. So, let's start with the first step. Daily inspection. This might sound simple, but it's one of the most important things you can do for your feet. You see, as we age, we might not feel small cuts, blisters, or sores as easily as we once did. That's especially true if you have diabetes or nerve issues. A tiny nick from trimming your toenails or a small blister from a new pair of shoes can turn into a serious problem if it goes unnoticed. Here's how to do it right. Every day, take a few minutes to sit down and really look at your feet. Top, bottom, between the toes, even the heels. Use a mirror if you need to, or ask a family member for help if bending down is tough. You're looking for any redness, swelling, cuts, or changes in color. If you notice anything unusual, a sore that isn't healing, a strange patch of dry skin, don't ignore it. Make an appointment with your doctor or a podiatrist. Catching these things early can save you a lot of trouble later. Now, the second step is all about keeping your feet clean and moisturized. You might think, well, I already shower every day. Isn't that enough? And yes, washing your feet is important, but there's a little more to it. Use warm, not hot water, and a gentle soap. Hot water can dry out your skin, and dry, cracked skin is more prone to infections. After washing, make sure you dry your feet thoroughly, especially between the toes. Moisture trapped there can lead to fungal infections like athlete's foot. Once your feet are dry, apply a good moisturizer. But here's the trick, not between the toes. You want to keep that area dry to prevent fungus. A simple, fragrance-free lotion works great for the rest of your foot. If you have diabetes or very dry skin, your doctor might recommend something a bit stronger. Now, I know some of you might be dealing with calluses or rough skin. It's tempting to grab a pumice stone or file and go to town, but be careful. Too much scrubbing can cause breaks in the skin, and that's where infections can start. If you have thick calluses or corns, it's best to let a podiatrist handle them. They can trim them safely and show you how to care for them at home. These first 2 steps, daily inspection and proper cleaning, are your foundation. They might seem small, but they make a world of difference in keeping your feet healthy. And when your feet feel good, it's easier to stay active, keep doing the things you love, and enjoy life without unnecessary pain. Now, let's move on to the third step, choosing the right footwear. Because believe it or not, the wrong shoes can cause a lot of problems. Now, let's talk about shoes. You might not realize it, but the shoes you wear every day have a huge impact on your foot health, especially after 60. Think about it. If your shoes are too tight, too loose, or don't give enough support, they can cause blisters, calluses, even throw off your balance. And if you've ever had a pair of shoes that just didn't feel right, you know how quickly they can turn a pleasant walk into an uncomfortable slog. So, what should you look for in a good shoe? First, support. As we age, the natural padding in our feet thins out, and our arches may flatten a bit. That means we need shoes with good cushioning and arch support to absorb shock and keep our feet comfortable. A firm heel counter, that's the back part of the shoe, helps with stability, which is extra important if you've noticed your balance isn't what it used to be. Next, fit. Feet can change size and shape over the years, swelling, widening, even lengthening slightly. That means the size you wore at 50 might not be the right size now. Always try shoes on in the afternoon or evening, when your feet are naturally a little swollen, to make sure they're not too snug. There should be about a thumb's width of space between your longest toe and the end of the shoe. And don't just stand in them, walk around the store a bit. If they pinch, rub, or feel stiff, they're not the right pair. Another thing to watch for? Soles. Thin, flimsy soles might be fine for a younger person, but as we get older, we need a little more between us and the ground. Look for shoes with a thicker, non-slip sole to cushion your steps and prevent slips. If you've got hardwood or tile floors at home, consider a pair of supportive slippers. Walking around in socks or flimsy house shoes can lead to falls or foot strain. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but I love my old shoes. They're broken in just right. And I get it. Comfortable shoes feel like an old friend. But here's the thing. Even the best shoes wear out. If the tread is smooth, the insoles are flattened, or the sides are bulging, it's time to retire them. Worn-out shoes don't give your feet the support they need, and that can lead to pain in your feet, knees, even your back. All right, let's move on to nails and circulation, because how you care for your toenails and blood flow makes a big difference too. First, trimming. Cutting your toenails might seem simple, but doing it wrong can cause ingrown nails or even infections. Always cut straight across. No rounding the corners, and don't cut them too short. If bending down is hard or your vision isn't what it used to be, don't hesitate to ask a family member or a podiatrist to help. And if you have diabetes, this is extra important. Small cuts can lead to big problems, so it's often best to let a professional handle it. Now, circulation. As we age, blood flow to our feet can slow down, especially if we sit for long periods or have conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure. Poor circulation can make your feet feel cold, numb, or tingly, and it slows healing. So, what can you do? Move. Even just wiggling your toes, rotating your ankles, or taking short walks throughout the day helps keep blood flowing. If you're sitting for a while, try not to cross your legs. It pinches off circulation. And if your feet tend to swell, elevating them for a few minutes can help. One more tip. Socks matter too. Tight socks with elastic bands can cut off circulation, so opt for seamless, breathable socks that aren't too restrictive. If you have diabetes, there are special socks designed to reduce pressure and keep your feet dry. Now, we've covered a lot. Proper shoes, nail care, circulation. But there's one more key step to keeping your feet healthy, and it's something many people overlook. Now let's talk about the last, but certainly not least. Step in caring for your feet after 60, listening to what they're telling you. Our feet have a way of sending us signals when something isn't right, but too often, we brush them off as just another ache or pain of getting older. Maybe you've noticed your feet cramp up more often, or they feel stiff when you get out of bed in the morning. Perhaps there's a persistent soreness in your heels or arches that wasn't there before. These aren't just minor annoyances, they're clues. For example, frequent foot cramps could mean you're dehydrated or lacking certain nutrients like potassium or magnesium. Stiffness in the morning might be a sign of arthritis or inflammation, and that nagging heel pain, it could be plantar fasciitis, which is common as we age but absolutely manageable with the right care. The key is to pay attention and not dismiss these signs as normal. So what can you do? First, stay hydrated. Drinking enough water helps prevent muscle cramps and keeps your joints lubricated. Second, stretch gently. Simple exercises like rolling a tennis ball under your foot or stretching your calves can make a big difference in flexibility and comfort. And third, don't push through pain. If your feet hurt after standing or walking for a while, take a break. Resting and elevating your feet for a few minutes can relieve pressure and reduce swelling. Now, let's talk about when to see a doctor. Some foot issues can be handled at home, but others need professional attention. If you notice any of the following, it's time to make an appointment. Sores or cuts that aren't healing. Sudden swelling, redness, or warmth in one foot. This could signal a blood clot or infection. Numbness or tingling that won't go away. Sharp pain that makes walking difficult. Especially if you have diabetes, don't wait. Early treatment can prevent serious complications. Before we wrap up, let's quickly recap. 1. Inspect your feet daily. Catch small problems before they become big ones. 2. Keep them clean and moisturized, but skip the lotion between the toes. 3. Wear the right shoes, supportive, well-fitting, and replaced when worn out. 4. Take care of your nails and circulation. Trim carefully and keep the blood flowing. 5. Listen to your feet. They'll tell you when something's wrong. Remember, your feet are the foundation of your mobility and independence. A little attention now can save you from pain and bigger health issues later. And the best part? These steps don't take much time or effort, just consistency. So, I'd love to hear from you. Have you noticed changes in your feet as you've gotten older? What tips have helped you keep them healthy? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, give it a like and subscribe for more simple, practical advice to help you live well at any age. Here's to happy, healthy feet and to staying active and comfortable for years to come.